low-carb ketogenic diets are some of the most effective tools for weight loss, improving insulin resistance, reversing PCOS, and preventing chronic disease. But how low in carbs do you really need to go in order to see these benefits? A low-carb diet is typically defined as under 100 grams of total carbs per day. However, I find that most of my clients see the best results when they stick to under 50 grams per day. This is also generally the threshold for staying in ketosis, where your body shifts from using glucose for fuel to burning fat instead. Now, of course, this number can vary based on a lot of factors, how active you are, your metabolic health, etc. But for the average person looking to lose weight, improve their insulin sensitivity, if you're a woman with PCOS, 50 grams is a pretty good baseline. So in today's video, we're going to break down what 50 grams of carbs looks like from different food sources. Because when you understand where your carbs are coming from, it becomes easier to stay in ketosis and reap the benefits. Some of these benefits include rapid weight loss, increased energy, reduced brain fog, better blood sugar control, improved insulin sensitivity, and much more. Now let's compare this to the standard American diet, where most people are eating 200, 300, even 400 grams of carbohydrates in a day. When you're eating this many carbs, your body is constantly relying on glucose for energy. And because glucose stores are limited, you need to eat every few hours to avoid energy crashes. But when you're in ketosis, your body is mainly burning fat, both dietary and stored body fat. Fat provides a much more stable source of energy. Even someone who is very lean has over 100,000 calories stored as fat on their body. And this is in contrast to the around 2,000 calories, which is all your body can store of carbohydrates. And this is why people who eat a low-carb or keto diet can go several hours without feeling hungry. But okay, let's get into what you came here for. What does 50 grams of carbs look like? Now, we're focusing on whole foods today. And some of the amounts I'm going to talk about in this video, they're not going to seem very practical. And the point of this video isn't to say to eat one particular food to get all of your carbohydrates, but just to know that if you're staying under the limits that we're talking about today, even just generally, you don't need to track or anything like that, that there's a pretty good chance you're going to get into and stay in ketosis. So let's break this down by category, starting with fruit. 50 grams of carbs is going to look like 3 whole avocados, 6 cups of olives, 2.5 cups of blueberries, 3 cups of cherries, 3.5 cups of raspberries, 4 cups of shredded coconut, 5 cups of strawberries, 5 whole lemons, or 6 whole limes. So like I said, I'm not saying to eat 50 grams of carbs of any one of these foods. Most people are probably only going to have half an avocado, maybe 1 whole avocado in a day. And so knowing that you have to eat 3 of them in order to have too many carbs, this can be helpful. Or if you're going crazy with the blueberries and having cups and cups of them, again, maybe not ideal. But now let's move on to vegetables. 50 grams of carbs is going to look like 2 whole eggplants, 6 red capsicum, 5 whole cucumbers, 9 whole zucchinis, 9 cups of broccoli, 10 cups of cauliflower, 10 whole tomatoes, 25 Brussels sprouts, 50 cups of lettuce, 100 spears of asparagus, or 125 green beans. Next up, we have nuts and seeds. And I do want to make a disclaimer here because yes, they are low in carbs per serving, but they are very calorically dense. So if weight loss is your goal, something to be mindful of. I don't generally recommend tracking calories, but I know some people can go pretty crazy with the nuts. So 50 grams of carbs is going to look like 3 cups of Brazil nuts, 3 cups of walnuts, 3 cups of pecans, 2.5 cups of macadamia nuts, or 1.5 cups of almonds. So as long as you keep your portions under these amounts, you should be staying under 50 grams of total carbs per day and staying in ketosis. Now, before I continue, I quickly want to touch on something that is very, very important for anyone who's eating a low carb or ketogenic diet, and that is the importance of electrolytes. When you're in ketosis, your body doesn't retain sodium the way it does when you're eating carbs. And this is why many people experience keto flu-like symptoms like fatigue, headaches, and muscle cramps when they first start. And this is why I highly recommend supplementing with electrolytes, and specifically supplementing with electrolytes that are high in sodium. This is going to keep your energy levels stable, prevent dehydration, and prevent symptoms of the keto flu. My go-to is Sodi's everyday hydration salts. They provide the perfect balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium to keep you feeling your best. Just mix a packet with water, drink it in the morning, and you're going to feel the difference. If you want to support your hydration and feel better, head to healthcoachkait.com/Sodi electrolytes. I'll also put that link in the description box down below, and make sure to use code HCK15 at checkout because that's going to save you 15% off your order. Now, a common question I'm asked is whether it's better to eat your carbs at the start of your day or the end of your day, or to space them throughout. From my experience, both personally and with my clients, fewer carbs in the morning is going to be best. Your first meal should be high in fat and protein. This is going to help to keep you satiated and maintain stable blood sugar and energy levels. If you start your day with a lot of carbs, you're going to experience a big spike in blood sugar, and a couple hours later, this is going to come crashing down. This is why many people feel sluggish mid-morning and they're reaching for a coffee or a snack. Even if you practice intermittent fasting, your first meal, whenever that is, it should have at least 30 grams of protein and ideally match that with fat. So 30 grams of protein, 30 grams of fat. Some great options for breakfast include eggs, bacon, cheese, smoked salmon, mushrooms, sausages without any added flour, fillers, or sugar, ham, butter, avocados, chia pudding, and olives. Later in the day is going to be the time for carbs if you're going to have them. But ideally, you don't want to be having them all at once. Space them out a little bit because just think if you eat 50 grams of carbs at once, that's 50 grams that is broken down into sugar, and that's all going to enter your bloodstream all at once. So space them out. When you do have them, make sure you pair them with protein and fat. And I do have other videos on how to be smart about carbs when you do have them. I'll link one of those up above and you can check it out afterwards. Now, like I said, you're not likely to eat 50 grams of carbs from just one of these foods, but as long as you're keeping your portions smaller than the amounts listed, you'll be on track to stay under 50 grams of carbs in a day. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Did any of these foods surprise you? Maybe you got caught a little bit off guard. You thought that a food was lower in carbs than it is. Let me know in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.